Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Young and Restless weekly spoilers September 15th to 19th. Jack's warning and Phyllis betrayal unleash chaos. Young and the Restless weekly spoilers for September 15th through the 19th see Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, issuing a very stern warning, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, is tattling on somebody. But the question is, who? On Monday, September 15th, we've got Season 52, Episode 240 of Y&R. Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, tells Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, about Kyle Abbott, Michael Miller, as $5 million contract he signed with Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and her mom defends him. Victoria gives Kyle credit and thinks that this proves his devotion to Claire, him taking this big risk. But at the same time, Victoria is not happy to hear that her dad was involved in this. Claire wonders if Kyle is obsessed with her, jealous, and just being too much because of how he reacted to her being friends with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. Claire says she never got crazy like that, even when Summer Newman, Allison Lanny, was around all the time, talking to Kyle and being friendly, and sometimes more than friendly. Victoria advises Claire to give Kyle a chance, and she shocks Claire because she says Kyle told her has never felt this way about anybody, not even Summer. Victoria advises Claire to think very carefully and maybe give Kyle a chance. Meanwhile, Kyle runs into Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, over at Crimson Lights. Kyle is worried that Nate is going to punch him in the face, but Nate says no. They are both Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, as victims. Nate then says that Claire honestly is the real victim. Kyle asks him about Holden and says that Holden has glommed onto Claire. Nate says he thinks Holden is very sketchy and still very much into Audra. Kyle talks about Audra causing issues for him and Claire, but he hopes they can get past it. Nate says that people warned him about Audra, and he should have listened. But now Nate says he is completely done with her for good. That's when Victoria and Claire join them, and Nate takes off with Victoria. Claire asks if Kyle was talking to Nate about Holden. Kyle is deflecting. This is a touchy subject for her, and he knows that. Kyle just doesn't want Holden hurting Claire, but she says she can protect herself. The person she's not sure she can trust is Kyle. He's begging Claire to do a reset and let them start over as a couple. Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules LeBlanc, talks with Phyllis and says he took a job with Kane. She guesses that Michael will be Kane's fixer since he already has a lawyer, Amanda Sinclair, Michelle Morgan. Michael talks about putting everything behind them, about how mad Phyllis was when he was defending Sharon Newman, Sharon case. Michael then says that Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, doesn't know he's working for Kane and that he's keeping it on the down low. That's when Phyllis starts to smell a rat. Michael starts making excuses about protecting Lauren and plausible deniability. But Phyllis calls BS and tells Michael if he doesn't come clean, she's going to go to Kane and tell him that Michael cannot be trusted and is up to something shady. Meanwhile, Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, talks to Devin Hamilton, Brighton James, wondering if her kids will forgive Kane. Devin wants to know if the video Kane made softened up the kids or if it softened up Lily. She thinks that Kane has mishandled everything. Lily thinks it might just be better if the kids cut Kane out of their lives permanently. Devin says, been there, done that, did it with Tucker McCall, Trevor St. John. Lily wonders if Devin might be encouraging her about Kane, but Devin says, no, this is just a conversation. Lily vows that she is done with her ex-husband on Young and the Restless. Amanda talks to Kane about him letting Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, have the AI program and whether that's dangerous. Kane says that Billy only thinks he's controlling the program. It'll be Kane secretly controlling it to do what he wants. Kane then asks Amanda if she'll get close to Lily to advocate for him. Amanda actually agrees to try. She goes over and runs into Devin and Lily. Amanda and Devin snark at each other until she asks to talk to Lily alone. Lily asks Amanda if she still misses Devin, especially since Amanda had made a crack about Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway. Kane then texts Billy to ask if they are still a go. On Tuesday, September 16th, it's Season 52, Episode 241 of Young and the Restless. Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is not going to budge with Billy. Sally refuses to endorse anything that involves Billy working with Kane, and she really wants Billy to stay away from Kane. All of this has already screwed up Abbotcom. The funding's gone. There's no company for her to run, and Billy is just gambling with both their futures, and she's not having it. Sally goes over to talk to Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, who asks Sally if Billy's all right. Sally says Billy is not all right. He is making the biggest mistake of his life, and I tend to agree, and has made some big ones. Somebody pushes Kyle to take the high road. It could be Claire, Nate, Holden, or Audra. Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, is in a tough position because of Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and this most likely involves a Newman war with Billy, and maybe Newman Media published something else crappy about him. Wednesday, September 17th, Season 52, Episode 242 of Young and the Restless. Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, gets a warning from Jack. I think he may tell her that Victor is coming after Jack, coming after Jabbo, coming after the family. He just wants to let Nikki know that he's not going to take it, that he will retaliate if Victor wants war with the family. That's what he will get. Victor is multitasking, going up against multiple enemies at once. Kane encourages Billy to patch things up with Jill Abbott, Jess Walton. Jill is in town soon. Kane also meets with Billy this week and asks him how long he's dreamed about taking down Victor. Kane tells Billy, "Say yes, and let's start dismantling Newman Enterprises." On Thursday, September 18th, Season 52, Episode 243 of Young and the Restless, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, meets with Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziardi, behind Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, S-back. She wants to know if Daniel did what she asked, and he says, "Yes, Tessa doesn't know that I'm here." He didn't tell her. Daniel and Mariah have a very tense talk, but in the end, it may be just her wanting to make sure that Tessa has a support network if Mariah is indeed going away, like she talked about. Lily finds herself charmed by Kane, at least in a moment, but it may be a while before he gets much further than that. Jack asks Victoria for help, and this is something to do with her dad. On Friday, September 19th, it's Season 52, Episode 244 of Young and the Restless. Kane calls a meeting of all of his people. He's got Phyllis, he supposedly has Billy, supposedly has Michael, he's got Amanda. We'll see if Jill's still in town, and they have a little meeting of the minds. Lauren goes all out to impress Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell, about the wedding plans. Billy hits a little snag, a setback in his plan to get his hands on Chancellor.